our local celebrations this Easter Sunday, Bluefield, West Virginia's Voice of Praise Church held a morning breakfast with members new and old. With an Easter egg hunt for the youth and a $100 gift card given to the churchgoer who brought the most people with them to service today, the scene here serves as one of many examples of the area's cheerful Easter celebrations. And meanwhile, those with the Voice of Praise Church tell us another upcoming event here is the Mercer County Diaper Run. That's where participants are asked to do just one thing.
They're asked to bring baby diapers. Last year, we accumulated just over 18,000 baby diapers, but we really place emphasis on helping out these young mothers that's choosing to keep their babies. We're doing what we set out to do as a church, and we attempt to do what I refer to as out-of-the-wall events, where we reach outside the walls of our building, because that is whom we're supposed to be reaching.
The Mercer County Diaper Run will be held on Saturday, July 27th, starting at the Cole Harley-Davidson dealership in Bluefield, West Virginia, and the motorcycle run will start at around 10 a.m. That's for all motorcycle enthusiasts are welcome, or those who just want to give back are also welcome to join in. And